Hey fam, this is JESSWAR, and you're tuning into AUD.
Yeah, make 'em mad like madmen. Don't trust anybody like many men. Self-made like Batman. Fell in love with a bad bitch. Savage.
Yo, what up, Cash fam? My name is Matthew Craig, and you are locked into AUD, Australia's Hip Hop Connect. We are an independent grassroots hip hop platform down here in Melbourne, Australia, and we appreciate every single person who takes time out of the day to tap in with what we do. Please, if you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, comment, share, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you are listening on podcast format, please be sure to rate and review the channel. Give us 5 stars because we are always bringing you the biggest and best guests from Australia and around the world. And my guests today, man, they have been a consistent presence in the Australian hip-hop scene for the last 5+ years. Someone I've had the pleasure of knowing personally, and they've put together one of the most celebrated resumes in the game domestically. It's too big to go through, but we're going to talk through some highlights right now. The 2021 winner of the Queensland Music Best Hip Hop Release, 2021 Gold Coast Music Award for Breakout Artist of the Year, being covered by the likes of Billboard, Clash Magazine, Paper Magazine, BC Radio 1, played at Laneway Festival, Splendor in the Grass, Groovin' in the Moo. The list just goes on and on and on. Had that massive hit last year, Bad Like Riri with Erica Banks, dropped the Tropics EP last year, and they're back with another one this year. Life Short, Live Big is the name of the new project out September 23. We've got the early chat in here inside, as we always do in AUD, of proud Fiji origins, coming from the 4K, the one and only JESSWAR. Welcome to AUD. How we doing, family?
Yeah, thank you. That was potentially the best intro that I've ever received.
Let's go. That's what we're aiming for. But you got one of the best resumes to talk about as well. So like all that shit you've accumulated in the last 5+ years, pretty incredible. How's it feel to hear that back and sort of reflect on it?
It's actually the first time I've ever really heard that back. So I was just taken aback bit by hearing it. And I'm a little bit like shy in it almost because I feel like I haven't taken a breath since then, and realized, what's been going. And I put everything into what I do, like all my heart and soul, and I put a lot of hard work into it. So it's really crazy to hear that. I feel pretty proud of myself.
Absolutely. Is there moments you reflect back on that journey and you've had to pinch yourself and you've gone, whoa, it's pretty cool, I'm living this right now?
Yeah, 100%. I try to do that every time I reach a milestone, just to be present in it, so I don't just keep going, oh, I want more, I want the next big thing. I always try, if there's a release or anything, just to go and have a dinner or like go to the beach or do something to signify that chapter as well, and just to try and stay present. But there's been so many moments where I've been around and be like, oh my God, like my little teenage self, if they could see me doing this right now, this would be, I would have just been so blown away from hearing what I'm doing right now. So
yeah, that's dope. That's a cool place to start, actually. What would you say to your teenage self?
I would probably say always keep your head up and don't let anyone dim your light.
Yeah, that's cool. That's one thing that you've always been with your art and just the way you handle yourself. You're unapologetically you. You're absolutely authentic. You're never afraid to be bold or make a statement or have a presence. I think to just doing like a version and coming out and doing Limp Bizkit, like how was that as a moment? That was like a I'm here sort of moment.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. Such a crazy experience. I really enjoyed playing with a live band and doing a genre that I've never done before. And I really had to push myself to do that as well, because I wasn't too familiar with that sort of genre as well as playing with a live band. We had one rehearsal before it. So it was just kind of bang, bang, bang. But I loved the challenge. As an artist, I was just like, I loved it as a challenge because I was like, I could put myself in a room for hours and just practice this and make sure it's right,
Yeah, that's one cool thing. Yeah, I definitely think about you is like, you're not afraid to try new things. And like, if you look at your sort of sonic journey over the last 5 years or whatever, you've gone from like heavier sort of stuff to lyrical sort of stuff to more fun sort of stuff. What are the inspirations behind that? Is there ever an agenda, or do you just go where the creativity sort of takes you?
I feel like, I just go wherever I feel right in my intuition as well. Like, especially with writing over different genres and subgenres has been something for me to just get better at my craft, get better at songwriting and writing over different feels, like type of beats, to sort of widen, my repertoire a bit as well. And when I've always gone into a session, I've sort of never been like, I just want to make this or this. Like, I'll listen to a few things and just give it a go. Like, I feel like I've always tried to, I'm also, as a listener, and a lover of music too, I love to listen to a vast majority of genres as well. So I feel like having that, I just feel like nothing can hold me back when it comes to writing over different types of instrumentals that may be different sounding from each other. Like Fell in Love is completely different from the song I just released, Hefty. It's like a sort of love song, summery, poppy vibe. And then Hefty is just like 1 minute 50 of bars, you know? And I think that excites me as a creative. It keeps my energy going. It keeps my fire going in my belly to know that it's not just the same thing all the time. You can do this, you can do that, you can do whatever you want. Keeping that freedom, I think, really keeps that spark in my creativity going. And I still have that moment of when I first started, you know, that how you have that love for it because it just feels like a new thing as well.
Yeah, I think it's cool you touched on a couple of the singles there, and definitely want to dive in and talk about that. Let's start with the project because, like, honestly, the title is probably my favorite title of the year. Life Short, Live Big. I think it reflects. We were just chatting a bit before about where you're at personally at the moment. So let us in a bit of insight like that because I think it's a pretty profound statement. It's pretty bold, but it's a cool twist on what you've done in the past.
Yeah, 100%. I think it definitely on this project, Life Short, Live Big, like all the songs. There's a lot of different sounding songs. There's a lot of poppier songs. There's harder stuff. There's a lot of different genres in one. And to put that sort of pile of songs into this project, you know, some of them I was always in my head about, you know, should I release this or is this it or is this good enough? Like in my head. And I feel like I just got to a point in life where I was like, fuck it. Like if I don't do this for myself right now, I know that I will regret it. So putting that project out is sort of, it's also like a mantra, I guess, for me living recently too, like, you know, just giving it your all because life's too short. You never know what might happen, you know, and not letting fear take over or fear of people's judgment come in the way and just making something that just feels good for you. And I made it for myself, you know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like the title I feel like resonates with a lot of us. We've all been through such a hectic couple of years, you know, like it's been really rough on everybody in the world. So yeah, I think we're at a time where we just want to feel some sort of relief as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. I definitely think, it sounds like a mantra. Was there a specific moment where you maybe had an epiphany over the last couple of years where it was like, this is the mantra I'm taking into my next chapter? Or?
I feel like just as growing too, as a person and as an artist in the last couple of years, I've sort of been like, you know, really trying to own and find out who it is that I am and who I want to be in this world as well and be proud of that too. I think that was a really big thing that I've just sort of coming into, and it comes back to Life Short, Live Big. So, you know, I've shaved my head.
Let's go.
I was just,
I'm there with you, homie.
Yeah, it's actually so much better as well. But just doing all the things, like when I was little, I always wanted to shave my head. Like my mom would never let me do that, you know? So I got COVID and I was in the house for 10 days and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going to shave my head. I'm going to do all the things that I want to do, you know? So yeah, I've just really been on a journey of just trying to put myself first and be real gentle with myself and see what I want in this life as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. What do you learn about yourself?
I feel like I learned that I was really harsh on myself. Like I was really self-critical, and I was also like, I would push myself to crazy levels, you know, like I think I was a perfectionist in a way where it sort of came to parts where it would make being creative unfun anymore because you're sort of going over doing this. And I feel like recently I've just let that all go, you know, and just came back to a place with creating art where I wanted it to be fun again. You know, I wanted to get that same feeling when you're young and you go to a stage and you play all these stages for free, but you don't care because you're just there. This is why you do it. You know, I wanted that feeling again. I feel like I've definitely got that back.
Yeah, cool. You can definitely hear that sonically on the project. I want to talk about Fell in Love because I found it hard when I heard that song to go, is this the same person that made Savage? I was like, I love seeing the light and the shade. Talk me through about it because, it sounds like you were in a pretty cool place.
Yeah, so I made Fell in Love last year. It was in the summertime as well, and I tracked it in my studio room like really quick. Just wrote the song as I'm tracking, and it came together really fast as well. And I was listening to it in the car, and I was just like, man, this is just such a jam. Like, this is the type of song I want to listen to with my friends,
Yeah.
you know, and sort of touch on going a little bit melodic and soft with the delivery, which was cool because when I was writing it, I was like, holy fuck, like you don't need that many lyrics for these songs. You know, like you can kind of,
Yeah.
which was great because before I was writing like notes and notes of like lyrics to try and fit in the song. And I noticed when I was playing live, it is so hard, some of my earlier stuff, to jump around and spit those verses live with getting it perfect, you know, as well as bringing live energy. And sometimes like people don't want to listen to that. You know, sometimes I don't even want to listen to that. You know, I just want to go and feel freedom, you know, and feel free and vibe. So, you know, I sort of opened myself up to making music like that as well. And it was such a cool experience because I was just like, whoa, this is cool. You don't need that many lyrics here. You can sort of repeat a line here. Like you can make a chorus, do it here. And I feel like I just didn't want to follow the rules anymore.
Yeah.
And just went back to the drawing board and created my sort of own rules for this project as well.
That's dope. That's dope. You mentioned that you listen to a lot of different stuff as well, just in your everyday listening. What was some of the, I guess, sonic inspirations that you have for this project? Being so diverse sonically, you know, you go from Hefty to Fell in Love, like really different sounding tracks. What was in the soundscape of your listening?
I was actually like in the last year, I've been listening to a lot of like bedroom pop music.
Okay.
Like Grace is an artist I've been listening to. I was listening to a lot of Remy Wolf as well. And just sort of on this, like in this era of like bedroom pop, I was just in this genre, riding it around for ages. And I was listening to a bit of Winston Surfshirt as well. So yeah, it was pretty weird stage to be in because I was listening to like so many different hard rap songs, and then I was listening to lots of Rage Against the Machine at one point, and then I got into this bedroom pop sort of situation, and I really love how free they sound on their songs and their lyrics. And it's just sort of, if you go and look at some of these artists, you know, artwork, it's sort of DIY vibes, but it's just so rich in them and it's great. So I sort of wanted to take that freedom that I saw with that and apply it to this project as well.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's a bit bigger of a body of work than you've released previously, 12 tracks deep. I guess there's a bit more for fans of JESSWAR to sink their teeth into. What's the message you're sort of wanting them to take away from it?
I feel like the message is just the title, hey. Like, you know, if I can totally like that mantra, if people, I feel like fear just holds us back so much, you know, from doing what we want to do, and whether that be anything creative or anything in life. And I feel if I can convey that message to someone else and they can feel that and be about that, then fuck, that's great. You know what I mean? But also, like, I just want some people to feel a bit of relief when listening to it, you know, feel like they're taken away to a different place. They don't have to worry about anything. That's that for me. Like, as soon as I wake up in the morning, headphones in, music in, you know, music is my world that I can go in and just listen to artists and be amongst it, you know, like, so I hope that I can, you know, give that to someone else as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. And that's one thing you've always been about with your music, is about like finding people that almost are a bit outcasted, like representing people, whether it's culturally, whether it's, you know, gender diversity, whatever. It's people who are marginalized and being able to find purpose and meaning through the music. How's music been that to you? Has it been a bit of for a lot of us, it's a bit of a lifeboat, you know, and music has been an outlet for us to express ourselves. How's that been for you?
Yeah, 100%. Music's totally been a lifeboat for me. Like when I was younger, it was my safe space. You know, it was a place that even I could put my headphones in and I could just go away, you know what I mean? And to be able to make music as an artist, I feel very grateful to be able to do that every day, and grateful to play shows and share music with people. Like I never, ever take that for granted. And I never take anything that I've achieved for granted so far, because I remember for so long just wanting to do what I do now. Like even just the little things, for ages, all I wanted to do was play a live show. I didn't care if anyone was there. Like that was my goal. Like I just go to get a show. I just go to get a show. And when, you know, I did that, you get your first show, you go there, next thing. It's like, you know, sometimes I just look back and I'm like, fuck, this is sick. Like, you know, I can't believe that this is happening, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And how does it feel for you? Because as I said, you're someone that we've known each other for a few years now. and have seen the face of Australian hip hop change pretty dramatically in that time. Like you are, unashamedly one of the forebearers in this, breaking down some walls. Australian hip hop now looks a lot more black, brown, and queer than it did 5-10 years ago, and a lot more inclusive. How does it feel to be a champion of that movement and help achieve that for the next generation?
It feels incredible. I love seeing all the artists that are coming up now. It's just power to you. Like, if you can do this, like, I always see, anytime I see an artist come up, or in my feed or something, I want to show utmost support, especially if they're from the LGBTQ plus community or like representing hard. Like, I always want to show support because, there is power in numbers as well. And I was thinking about that time, in 2016, when I remember seeing like Midas come up and Camouflage Rose, and there was just like, that was, I feel like, the start of it.
100%.
Things were like starting to change, and there was people coming out with different subgenres of hip hop and releasing it. And it was just a really exciting time, and it still is, and it still continues to go and grow as well. And I feel like it's not just in hip hop; it's in soul, it's in R&B, it's in pop, it's in rock. Like, it's across the board, and it just makes me extremely, extremely excited. And even when I see, artists like Genesis Owusu or TK overseas, like killing it, Sampa the Great, like, it's just. It's super inspiring, and it's powerful as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I hope they always giving you your flowers, Famo, because you've been a big part of this cultural change as well with the contribution you've made. What is the, as I said, there's already been so much achieved in such a short space of time, but what does the JESSWAR legacy look like when you get to reflect, whenever it is down the track, when all this is said and done? What's the impact you've left and the legacy that JESSWAR's left on this landscape?
Like, are we talking now or like into
the future?
Oh, like, we're in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like in the future, I would love to leave behind resources for people, within the community and in the industry as well. I would also just love to leave behind art that makes people feel a certain kind of way, whether that be, love, anger, fear, or anything. I want to leave behind art, actually, that I love and that comes from my soul and that, is made from my heart.
That's dope. That's powerful. I know you're doing that already, fam, and I look forward to what the future looks like for that legacy to continue to grow. Let's slide in the money minute now. Let's have a little bit of fun, yeah? I'm going to hit you with some quick questions, and you answer the first thing that pops in your head. All right, let's go. The money minute with JESSWAR right now. If you could collaborate with any artist ever, dead or alive, who would it be?
Dead or alive. I think it would be Lake Kelly 47.
Crazy. That would be
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, that would be a hard collab. I'm here for that one. If the world's ending tomorrow, what's the last meal you're having for dinner tonight?
If it's ending tomorrow, probably sushi or a curry.
Nice. What's on your rider backstage at a show?
6 bottles of Sal Pellegrino, I think that's what it's called. A bottle of Grey Goose, a bottle of Hennessy, 12 beers. I don't know why I only say 12, but only 12. I think it's hot. I think it's Coronas, 12 Coronas, lemons, limes, a plate of sandwiches, and a plate of fruit. Yeah.
What was your least favorite subject in school?
Maths.
Yeah, not rocking with it.
Nah.
Just counting bands now, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Who was your first ever celebrity crush?
Who would it be? I'd probably say Jessica Alba. I feel like I watched Into the Blue, and it was it.
Shout out. Dream holiday destination, anywhere in the world, if you could go, where would it be?
I feel like I would go to Greece.
Cool.
I haven't been there yet, so I'll go there.
Nice. If you could hang out with a cartoon character for a day, who are you hanging out with?
I'd probably hang out with Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, that's cool. It's the first time I had that answer. I rock with that. What's your wallpaper on your phone? Your background?
Me and my girlfriend.
Cute. There we go. All right, and last question. We always ask this one, a little bit controversial. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
I mean, not really, Like I've had this is a hard one because I'll eat it. Like I'll still eat it. I'll eat it because I love food, and pizza, but I wouldn't typically order it. But if someone was like, do you want a piece of pizza? It's got I would. Yeah.
JESSWAR, it's been an absolute pleasure to tap in with you today, homie. Congratulations on all the success that you've achieved, what it looks like in the future. Life short, live big. Everyone go cop that on September 23. It's going to be a banger. I promise you. I've listened to it and just really excited for what the summer looks like for you, famo.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's good to see you again as well.
Always is, family. Always is. I'll tap in when I'm in with Queensland soon and we'll link up.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks so much, man. Thank you.
Big love. And I like it. Trust me, I like it. Your haters, I'll fight them. Got a bit of coin, that's a big dreams. Yeah, she's smart in the striptease.